Welcome back, everyone, to episode 82 of the Popcorn Podcast. I am Tommy Crusta, alongside me, my co host Ryan Ferran. Today, we are here to talk about DC's new slate of films, TV shows, and to talk about episode 3 of The Last of Us. Ryan, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. I can't lie; it's been a little bit of a long day from classes, but it was a very long, boring day. Can't lie to you. Yeah, but there's a lot of shit to get through in this episode, so
There is a
it's
lot
gonna
of
keep
shit to
being a
get through.
long day.
It is going to be a long day.
Yeah.
And we just want to give a little preface that I am trying a new microphone from Toner.
Yeah.
Toner. It's the TC77 microphone, I believe. It's a handheld mic. It's the one Ryan's been using, and we want to even out our audio quality.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you want to hop right into it, like the
We
news
can.
stuff.
Yeah, we can hop into it. I was gonna say we walk into it, but if you want to hop,
Yeah,
that's
you know,
fine.
dolphin dive into it.
All right.
But so Ryan, only thing Ryan knows about is the Batman Part 2, and what else?
I know Superman Legacy. Is that
Yeah,
what it's
Superman
called?
Legacy.
Yeah.
So we can start with those two, actually. So James Gunn did a 5-minute video today announcing the first part of the DC universe, which will be titled Chapter 1: Gods and Monsters. Which, first off, that's a very cool. I like the name.
Mm-hmm.
And then, the first two projects are the Batman Part 2, which will be an Elseworld project. Excuse me, which will hit theaters October 3rd of 2025. God damn.
And does that mean that's the first one that's gonna come out from this entire
No, the
slate?
first one that comes out of movies is Superman Legacy.
Oh shit! All right.
But I mean, we still have the Flash, Aquaman,
Yeah.
Shazam. Which is a real I get that the Batman's gonna take some time, and he did, and Matt Reeves did say 3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
And what would be 4 years?
Mm-hmm.
A little more than 4 years because it would be October of the 2025. It came out in March of 2021, so it'd be 4 years. A little over.
No,
4
it came
years.
out in March 2022. So it'd be like 3.5 years.
Did not come out in 2022. Did it? Oh shit!
Am
It
I
did.
crazy? Yeah.
No, you're right. You're
No,
right.
it definitely
Yeah,
didn't
so it'd
come
be
out in
3
21.
years. Okay. Yeah. So I mean,
Yeah, right there.
Oh shit! Yeah, it is. So yeah. So we got the Batman, which I'm super excited for. I know you're excited for. And do you have any choice of villain for the second one as a lead villain, not like who we
Yeah.
might see?
No, I mean I've said this before. I want Scarecrow so bad. I've loved Scarecrow as a Batman villain forever. So I think in this world of, Pattinson, Matt Reeves world, how like the kind of style they're going for, I think Scarecrow would be an awesome villain. Because I think he'd just be like terrifying. I can't see them shying away from him just being like just super messed up and terrifying. So I'd love to see a Scarecrow.
I agree. I think Scarecrow could be a really good character to do, especially with what you're saying in this world.
Yeah.
So agreed. And then the second project, which is a big project, which we have talked about on this podcast before, is the James Gunn written Superman Legacy, which he said he's halfway done writing.
Mm-hmm.
And this will hit theaters July 11th of 2025, which is actually sooner than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be a little bit farther down the line.
Yeah, so do I.
But I'm excited, and this will not be an origin story. It will be rated PG-13.
Cool.
But he doesn't know what the Batman's going to be rated.
Yeah.
Because he said there will be rated R, a lot of rated R projects.
Good.
Which I like because I think that fits DC's tone a lot easier.
Yeah.
Do you have a choice of Superman?
You mean actor?
Yeah, to
I don't
play the
know.
new Superman.
I don't really have a choice. I know you want Jacob Elordi.
I'm so down.
I'm not opposed to that by any
He's
means.
just got the look.
Yeah.
And he's a good actor. So
Yeah, he is.
moving on from that, we got, so as I said before, projects outside of the main DC universe will be titled DC Elseworld projects. Currently, there's 4. Those projects are Joker 2, Foley Dukes, which means crazier than 2 or something.
I think it's a Tale of Two, maybe.
Yeah, something like that. Then we have the Batman Part 2. Then we have Todd Neshi's Coates' Black Superman movie, which is moving forward.
But hold on, what was the one you said before?
The Batman Part 2.
Okay.
What do you think?
What was the thing 2 things ago?
I'm not saying it again.
I'm just
It's
to, I
Joker
was,
2.
I was just testing you.
And then Teen Titans Go will continue.
Really?
As an Elseworlds project.
How long is that show been going? What did that start?
Dude, that show's so much fun.
It is funny.
It's
I like that
fun
show.
child, but then the movie was a banger.
I still haven't seen the movie, but
Dude,
I remember
there's
watching
some
the show.
dark ass jokes in that movie. Yeah. No, it's been going on for a while, but I'm happy
Yeah.
to see that it's still going. I'm also just happy to see that the Black Superman movie's still moving forward.
Oh,
Because remember,
really?
for a while that it kind of like went under, and
Hmm.
no one heard anything about it.
Is that going to be an Elseworld story?
Hmm.
I guess.
I said that. You're not listening.
No,
It was late, right after you just told me to repeat it. I said that.
I don't think that's true.
I said Ta-Nehisi Coates' Black Superman movie.
Oh, see, that's the part I didn't hear, and that's why I asked you to repeat.
Oh,
And then you started repeating the wrong
yes, the
thing.
director.
Gotcha.
And this
Cool.
is Michael B. Jordan's production company will be producing it. We
Yeah.
have no castings yet, but we know Joker 2's filming. The Batman Part 2 is being written. Teen Titans Go just keeps coming out. And then we don't really have anything on how far the Black Superman movie is
Hmm.
into production yet. But yeah. Uh Jesus Christ.
I had to clear your throat right in the mic, huh?
No, I like this. I pulled off, I
Hey, we'll
think.
see.
We'll see when we listen to it, when I listen to it. This was something I thought was pretty interesting. So characters will be played by the same actors in live action, animation, and in video games from now on.
Hmm.
So he wants them all to be by the same person because he wants to connect video games, TV, and movies all to the same universe.
Yeah.
Which is something I'm down with James Gunn.
Yeah. No, that's a super cool concept.
And then the first thing we're getting from the DC universe is Creatures and Commanders, an animated show that will move into live action at some point. It is pretty much another task force along with the Suicide Squad, but
Gotcha.
they're all like monsters.
Gotcha.
It's gonna be a 7-episode animated series that's already written and edited, like art's done, but they just need to actually do the recordings.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for that because he said it's gonna be like an MA rated like show.
Yeah. Like kind of like Harley Quinn is,
Yeah,
sort of.
it
All right.
it looks like it's gonna be a little more like anime style artwork
Gotcha.
from the art that they released. Our first live action project will be the Amanda Waller Show, happening at HBO Max with Viola Davis in the lead, and will work alongside the Peacemaker Squad. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm sorry I yawned. I'm happy with that. Viola Davis is a great Amanda Waller, so the fact that she's sticking around is great. And all the supporting cast from Peacemaker was fantastic, I thought. So if he's keeping those guys around, I mean, I guess it's just going to be kind of another like same thing they were in Suicide Squad. I'm assuming maybe.
Yeah, no, I
Like
think it's the same kind of gig,
yeah. So that could be cool.
especially after the events of Peacemaker, where
Yeah.
she got in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be cool.
No.
Now, this is something I was excited to tell you about because Ryan has only, as we talked about, only seen the Batman Superman stuff.
Yeah.
We are getting a Lanterns TV show, which was originally Lanterns Core,
Mm-hmm.
but now it is going to be an HBO Max exclusive series with Hal Jordan and John Stewart as the leads. Well, it is being compared to a True Detective style show with lanterns.
So we're getting both of them.
Yeah, they're going to be the two leads,
All right.
and
That's
this will
pretty
have
cool.
a massive impact on the future of the DC universe.
Cool.
And I'm super excited to have John Stewart and Hal Jordan. And they
Yeah.
said they're like, because the lanterns are like cops for like the galaxy,
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna be like a bunch of murders, and they're investigating it.
Mm.
And they said it's gonna be like dark, like True Detective style.
Is it going to be just on Earth or across the?
They're gonna be following like the Earth sector,
Gotcha.
which I think is cool because then you get to go more into those characters, and
Yeah.
we haven't really gotten a Green Lantern yet.
Yeah, that seems awesome.
Then we're getting the Authority, which is a superhero group.
Mm-hmm.
The Authority is a superhero group that believes the world is broken and they will fix it by any means necessary. This is coming as a show to HBO Max, and these characters will interact with the main characters of the DC universe in the future.
Cool.
I don't know much about them besides that,
Mm-hmm.
but they're kind of like along the Watchmen kind of style. Like they'll kill and like
Yeah.
they don't really care.
All right.
Now, something that I think you're gonna be really excited for. This is Paradise Island. It will be a Game of Thrones style show, but on Themyscira. Which, if those you don't know, is where Wonder Woman comes from, the island.
Well, I mean, that description makes it sound pretty cool.
That's how he described it.
That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
it'll be interesting.
we got a little snippet of that in Zack Snyder's Justice League, like seeing how they can fight and stuff.
Yeah.
But I want to see this. I want to see like a grounded, like just epic.
Yeah. No, I think it'd be really cool fleshing out Themyscira because it is a really interesting place that you don't spend that much time in. I mean, we spend a lot of time there in Wonder Woman, but it's kind of the first quarter to first, maybe not even half of the movie.
Yeah, no, I think you spend the most time with it in Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Yeah, I think so. So I'd love to go back there for a show, but Game of Thrones style. I mean, it sounds awesome, but is he just hyping it up? Because like what we've seen from Themyscira is that they're kind of all get along pretty well. Like there's not really
Well, you
a
gotta remember there's other like clans. There's like other islands.
yeah
Themyscira is just their island. Because the
yeah
artwork that they released of it is like them fighting an army of men and they're like
really
stabbing, there's like blood everywhere. It looks pretty dark.
yeah, that seems pretty cool then.
Yeah.
All right, no, I mean that description makes it sounds pretty good. So
Yeah.
dude, I can't speak English. I'm adding s's to words that don't need them. This is bad. I'm tired.
Well, this point I'm about to get to is my most exciting thing I'm excited to talk about.
Hmm.
And this is The Brave and the Bold. Batman's entrance into the DC universe with his son Damian Wayne as his Robin, based on the amazing comic by Grant Morrison, and Damian Wayne is James Gunn's favorite Robin. So we're getting a Robin in the DC universe, and he said this will start the Bat Family. We will see the family of
All
them.
right.
And I am so excited to get a new Batman.
Does this mean that Damian is the first Robin, or is he just the
That's
current one?
This could also be starting because he said Superman's not an origin story. Maybe this isn't an origin
Yeah.
story. This is a Batman,
Hmm.
not really to Ben Affleck's length in time, but
Yeah.
like 10 years into being Batman.
Yeah,
5
he'd
years
be
into
like 30 maybe.
yeah,
Like he's not old enough to be like super grizzled, but he's been around the block.
yeah. Because if he
One,
trained with the League of Shadows, then Damian could be 13 and he could be like 33.
yeah, yeah, that's probably a better guess.
I am so excited. I am so excited to get a Robin, especially Damian Wayne, which James Gunn even said he is a bitch of a kid.
No, he is.
And because he's been trained by a group of assassins, especially then having to go and work with Batman, who doesn't
Mhm.
have the kill,
Yeah.
won't kill. I'm just so excited to see a new Batman.
No, that seems awesome.
Because I mean, the last 3 Batman, we haven't gotten a bad one.
Hmm.
So I'm so excited. Soon as was Bale, Affleck, or Pattinson bad?
No, I was just trying to make you upset.
I know. That's why I need to question you on it. And then a project that I didn't think we would ever get, and this is Booster Gold, who is a loser in the future and comes back in time to be a superhero because he has the futuristic technology. And this is going to be a show on HBO Max.
That's a total James Gunn project.
That's gonna be so much fun.
But that's also right up his alley.
Yeah,
Is
that like goes right to what he's good at.
yeah, like shit tier superhero and just making him awesome. That's
Yeah.
that's all he does.
And then we're getting a Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, which was a really great comic strip, and we're getting a full-fledged sci-fi epic feature film. And she's like dark.
Yeah.
She murders and kills because this version of Supergirl, lived on a piece of Krypton, like as it was floating through space, and her whole family dies. And she is not a happy camper.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's gonna be a little dark. But I want Sasha Calle to stay and do that because I feel like you can't just give her one movie
Yeah.
unless
It is a different universe, right? Hers.
we don't know. That could end up being the DCU.
Yeah.
We don't know yet. Gonna have to wait and see the Flash. And then the last film that we got was a hard R horror Swamp Thing movie, which James Gunn explains it will seem like kind of like off by itself, but by the end of the film, it will connect to the bigger DC universe.
All right.
Which I'm excited for.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's all the stuff we got today from James Gunn.
I mean, that's a pretty good slate.
Like people, I follow a bunch of like Zack Snyder pages, like Justice League pages, but I think I have to stop following because they are just annoying.
Yeah.
Like they're not giving him a chance. They're like, oh, why do we need a new Batman? Like, the whole problem with the last DCU EU was that we didn't have a Batman. We had Affleck from the beginning, and then we had nothing.
Yeah.
So
you
that's the
need
main
somebody
issue.
who can stay on for a little bit longer.
Yeah. Do you have any choices?
No.
Any ideas?
No idea.
I've been trying
Just give
to
it to
think.
Tom Hardy. You can do everything.
No.
Tom Hardy,
that'd be
Batman.
Actually, I've never seen him do an American accent because most of his characters are like. Because even Bane's not. I feel like doesn't sound like American.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what American stuff he's done. He did that movie Warrior, the UFC movie.
Oh yeah, he's good in that.
Yeah.
It's a good movie. Dude, Tom Hardy actually might be a cool Batman.
You'd be a
But
sick
I feel like that'd
Batman.
be kind of along the same lines as Ben Affleck styled.
No, yeah, that was
that's a
just
lot like-
I was like half joking when I said that. I have no idea who he
Dude,
was.
Nicholas Holt. He was a finalist for the Batman.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'd want a tall Batman.
Yeah, I
No
like.
offense to Tom Hardy. He's
No,
not the
I just
tallest man.
like the taller Batman.
Yeah.
We got Pattinson and Affleck, and I think they look the most intimidating in the
Hmm.
suits. Yeah, outside of that, we got our first poster for the live action One Piece show, which will set sail in 2023. This is on Netflix, and this show is one of the biggest budgets of the year. And a lot of the time, anime to live action is terrible. But if you're gonna do one, I think One Piece might actually be the best piece to do it with.
Yeah. I can't lie. I don't know the first thing about One Piece.
They're treasure hunters.
That's it.
Yeah, they're cool.
Okay. I thought it was just like a kind of one of those crazy like Dragon Ball type anime. So when I saw the pirate ship, I was like, what the hell is
No,
this?
they're like treasure hunters.
Oh, I don't watch
The
anime.
anime
I don't
has
know.
like thousands of episodes.
That's the one with like
Yeah,
a lot.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch the entire thing.
I'm never gonna speak to you again.
Nope.
Yeah,
There's
you're
no more
just gonna be
podcasts once
locked
I
in your
start
basement.
One Piece.
I'm gonna walk down. You're gonna be like Swamp Thing, just covered in moisture and grease.
It's
Just
disgusting. I'm like the poles in Philly.
there's just 1,000 Uber Eats bags in your basement. I'm on episode 25 already. I gotta keep going.
Oh, next we got a new poster for Creed 3, which hits theaters on March 3rd.
Mm.
And then me and Ryan are gonna see that, and then the next day drive 10 hours down to South Carolina.
Yeah. What time do we gotta be there by? What time?
There's no actual like set time
Okay.
to be there by.
You want to leave it like 2 or 3?
Do you know how late we begin?
Well, I'm gonna wake up at noon.
No, you're not. Because I'll just drive to your house and wake you up.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh, something I'm excited for. I don't know if you saw it. Bad Boys 4 is officially in development with Martin Lawrence and Will Smith returning to the roles,
I did see that.
with the directors of Bad Boys 3 coming back.
Yeah. I
And-
thought Bad Boys 3 didn't do well.
Dude, it got great reviews.
Did it? I didn't see
Yeah.
it, so I don't know.
Me and Matt saw it. It was actually really good. I think it's the best one of the 3.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And then I think it's our last bit of news. Yeah. Every year the Rotten Tomatoes gives out 5 Golden Tomato Awards, which are for the best. These awards are given to the best actors and actresses who've had the best years, and the winners were Michelle Yeoh for Everything Everywhere All at Once and the Oscar nomination, Jenna Ortega for Wednesday, Scream 5, and X, Ethan Hawke for Moon Knight, The Black Phone, The Northman, and the amazing docuseries The Last Movie Stars, Colin Farrell for The Banshees of Inisherin, After Yang, 13 Lives, and of course The Batman. And the final winner is the creator, writer, and star of Abbott Elementary, Quinn Brunson. Congratulations to all of our winners.
Nice.
Anything to say about that?
No.
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 All good.
I think I'm pretty good.
Ready to go into
They sound like they deserve it.
Colin Farrell, that's insane. He did 4 projects and nothing below an 80.
Yeah. Colin Farrell's great.
I mean, same with Ethan Hawke. I mean, Moon Knight, The Black Phone, The Northman, all very good. And then, Did you watch it yet, The Last Movie Stars? The series? Really good.
No, I haven't watched it.
I think it's 100%.
Really?
It's very good.
Nice.
But yeah, you ready to hop into The Last of Us, episode 3?
Yeah.
Well, I've taken the helm for the first part of the news. I think you should take the helm for the review.
Well, first of all, I want to add another bit of news.
Oh.
Star Wars Jedi Survivor got delayed a little bit to April 28th from March 17th, which means it's no longer dropping the day before my birthday, which kind of sucks.
Oh, that's so sad.
That kind of sucks. But, I'll get past it. I'm excited for that game still. And we got the first poster for Fast 10.
Yeah, Vin Diesel praying.
Yeah. I still haven't seen a single one of those movies.
Wait, I never saw the last one in the theaters.
No.
Oh, I thought
I've never
like
seen
you
a
and
Fast and
Ant
Furious
saw
one.
it.
No.
Oh, we gotta watch them.
Yeah.
Dude, those are good movies.
No, I want to watch them. I just haven't.
Like the middle ones, I think are the best ones.
The ones that they kind of stopped trying to be serious and just had fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
Those are the ones.
Yeah. Well, if we want to get into Last of Us now, I can start off by saying that episode 3's viewership is up 37% from the premiere, which is insane.
I thought it was 37% from the second one.
No, I saw it from the premiere. Which makes, if it was 37% from the 22% jump from the first one, that would be crazy. What are you looking at?
Nothing. But you wanna start us?
Yeah. No, you're great. I think it's just 37 from the premiere because a 59% jump from the premiere would be crazy.
No, you're good. No, I
Yeah.
believe you.
All right, but
I was just looking at if I missed any news or anything like that.
no, I just hopped on IGN real fast.
I haven't. I'm all good.
That's it. I think we're caught up. I think we're good. Yeah, this episode. I'll just start off by saying it was very very good.
Oh, we
You know.
forgot to talk about Annie Weshering, who played Tess in the game. She passed away.
Oh yeah,
That's very sad.
yeah, it is sad.
And they had the in remembrance of before the start of the episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're good now.
All right, but well, just to start off, this episode is very very good. I mean, I wasn't expecting it. Of course, I didn't again play the game at all, so I didn't know what to expect. But I thought Bill was kind of just the comic relief character in the game. That was my perception of him going into it. And this episode, very, very different from the games. It's the biggest deviation from the games that they've had so far. And I don't think anything's going to beat this deviation in terms of how big it was. But I think they did a very, very good job. Without getting into spoilers yet, this episode just did a lot to flesh out Bill and Frank's whole story. That was kind of the point of the episode. They kind of strayed away from Joel and Ellie's story for a little bit, even though they were in, I think, 27 minutes of the episode. So it's not like we didn't get any of it, but the main focus of this episode was Bill and Frank's story. And I thought it was very, very well done.
I like that they, because I mean, especially with such a famous adaptation going from, I mean, one of the best games of all time.
Yeah.
And deciding to add a whole episode to something that's not even part of the game, because it is completely different to what happens in the game.
Yeah.
And I mean, it goes through what, 17 years? Yeah, 2003 to 2023. And I mean, yeah, it was such a
No,
huge
20 years.
no. Oh
2003 to
yeah.
2023.
Why did I think it was 17?
I don't know.
No, but this episode did a really great job. It swung for the fences doing this. Like they knew probably when
Yeah,
this episode was
totally.
coming out, like this could make or break the whole show.
Yeah.
Because if this doesn't do well, you're really gonna piss some people off. But
Mm-hmm.
everything I've read so far, the reviews have been extremely positive.
Yeah.
And I mean, it got a 10 on IGN, correct? This
Yeah.
episode.
This got a 10 on IGN. I've seen very few people who were just kind of upset that they changed so much from the games. But at the same time, when you have the writer from the games writing this episode, you can tell like Neil Druckmann wanted to do this.
Yeah.
This wasn't just to kind of change it and make the story different. It was to change it so it fit television better, which I think it did.
No,
Because
I thought this episode was great. I think it's probably the best episode of the season so far.
yeah,
And, and it had nothing to do with the game.
yeah,
Like it was its own little world for the
hmm
episode, and I loved it. And the show continues to do such a great job with de-aging and aging up characters. Because I mean,
hmm
they're aging up Pedro Pascal this entire show, and
yeah,
they get to see him without any of the makeup on for like 5 minutes,
yeah,
and it's one of the better scenes in the whole show.
hmm yeah. I think that's what TV can do so much better than games, because games, as much character development as you get in them, it's all through dialogue while you're playing the game. You don't really see like physical acting for most of the time. There's a lot of cutscenes and stuff, obviously, but when you're running, playing the game, it's more just dialogue driven, and you lose out on a lot of these slower paced kind of scenes or the length of an episode because you need gameplay and action to keep the player of the game into it. That's one thing that I think the TV show is doing so well is cutting a lot of that action and making the show more character driven than the game was.
Because I'm doing exactly what you do. I'm rewatching as we talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
The whole beginning of the episode is just Ellie and Joel just walking,
Yeah,
and it was my favorite Joel and Ellie stuff we've gotten so far because it actually let the characters breathe a little bit by themselves.
yeah,
When yes, I love Tess, I love Anna Torv as Tess, but I felt like it was good to finally just get them by themselves alone
yeah,
because that's what the story ends up being.
mm-hmm. Yeah. We need that time to kind of flesh out Joel and Ellie's what do you call it relationship, which I think they really did in this show,
I
in this
love
episode.
when she's like, "What's that scar above your eye?" He's like, "Did you fall down the steps?" She's like, "No,
I didn't fall down the steps.
I got shot at, and the guy
Yeah,
missed."
yeah,
But no, even through just this I think it's like 20 minutes, maybe it might be even 15 before they cut away.
mm-hmm.
But just in this little time, you can even see that Joel does want Ellie to be safe, and he doesn't want her to see certain things
Yeah,
because he's still seeing her as a girl, as like a little kid, which she is.
yeah.
And again, to anyone who hates on Bella Ramsey, fuck you. Because she is proving again and again to me that she was the perfect choice to play Ellie.
Yeah.
She might have not look exactly like her, but she acts. I said to you while we were watching it,
Mhm.
she acts. She has all the mannerisms that Ellie has.
Yeah, no, she acts perfectly.
And she never even played the game.
Yeah.
And they weren't allowed to play the game.
Yeah, he
Like when they
told
were
him
getting
not
ready to
to.
film it,
Yeah.
he's like, I don't want them to be acting as them. I want them to play this character that they're reading.
Yeah. Which is a testament even more to the writing, which is just that good. They're basically playing the same character without even trying to. You know
No,
what I
I
mean?
agree.
So, yeah, I mean, Bella Ramsey's acting as Ellie, and same with Pedro Pascal. It's just the acting is perfect. Like we said in the last episode, I think, you don't have to look just like the character. You need to act like them. That's the more important thing. That's where
Yes.
the character comes from. So they're both doing really, really great jobs in this. And I love the scene when they get to the like the old gas station
Yeah,
and she
that's why
starts playing Mortal
I'm
Kombat.
at that point right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she starts like talking about the video game and stuff.
Yeah, he starts talking about Melina. It was awesome. And then when she goes down into the basement.
That was a frightening scene.
Yeah.
I don't like these things.
Mm-hmm.
The runners are frightening because they're not quite
Well,
clickers.
this one was really running that much.
No, he was
It's kind of
trapped,
locked down.
but he
Yeah.
was a runner. That's like
Yeah.
the type of thing he was. And I want to. Someone asked me about like what's the difference between each one? Is like how they get infected. It's literally just how long they've been infected.
Yeah.
Runners eventually turn to clickers.
Yeah. It's just how
It's just an
long.
evolution.
Yeah. It's how long the fungus has had time to take over the whole
Yeah,
body.
because you can see like even the one that she stabs eventually in the scene that we're talking about where it's trapped. It you can see the fungi growing out of its head and starting to have spores and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as she opened that basement, I was like, "Don't go down there. Just stay with Joel."
Yeah. But
Did you lose the gear? No, I'm just zeroing in on it.
yeah, that was a great line. No, I think that scene did a lot for Ellie too because she asked. It was kind of not a callback straight, but like it kind of brought up her question from the last episode is when she asked Joel, "Do you feel bad for killing them, knowing if they were people once?" And this was, I think, her first time, obviously being able to get so close to one of them because it was pinned down, and she was able to kind of slice the forehead and see like this is not a person anymore. It doesn't matter anymore. So you really don't have to feel bad.
No, but even at the same time, like saying like, yeah, it's not a human anymore. It does have such close to human characteristics because it was at one point just a normal guy walking the streets.
Yeah.
And the eyes still look relatively like a human. It still has the
Mhm.
facial structure.
Yeah. I mean,
So
the way it looks up at her, like when she's about to stab it. I mean,
yeah, like that.
yeah.
I've never felt the way I have about these things. Like watching any other zombie, like any other zombie thing, I'm like, oh, just shoot it. In this one, like, they're still people. Like, they just got infected by this fungi.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like the same as like normal zombies who are just trying to rip you apart.
Yeah.
They're
I
just
mean,
trying
there's
to
no
infect
like,
you.
there's no curing them.
Oh no,
Yeah.
that's not what I mean.
Yeah. The way they're when they say Ellie could have a cure, they don't mean that they're gonna cure all the people who are already infected.
They're
They're
gonna
just
give the
preventing
people who are
infection.
left that can keep
Yeah.
them from getting infected.
Yeah.
And I like how he puts the gun away.
Mhm.
She's
Yeah.
like, what?
Yeah. He's like, there's no ammo. It's useless. But that makes it kind of realistic because it is true. You're not gonna find ammo for that.
Yeah,
thing
you're not
just
gonna
lying
have
around.
an assault right. You're not gonna find 5.56 ammo just laying places.
Yeah.
And then of course we get the shot of the plane that was crashed, and that is literally the very first shot we got out of this.
Yeah.
It was just the still of it. And when you're the way the shadows and everything looks, it looks like a video game.
No, it does.
And
It
that's
looks
not like
really
a
well.
negative thing. Like it looks like it's something out of a video game
Mhm.
in a positive way.
Yeah, the way it was shot, just showing their backs, I thought it was really, really well done.
And she brings up a really good point where he's like, so what? It's just a plane. She's like, you guys were literally up in the sky. Like that's gotta be a crazy thought to someone who's never seen a plane before.
Yeah.
Like there was something that could fly you in the sky.
Yeah, it kind of brings up the things we kind of take for granted, like
Yeah.
in regular life. But once everything's gone, we're stripped to just bare bones. You might even never drive a car again. Dude, I really can't speak.
You're doing
I'm
good.
stumbling over my words.
No, you're not.
Every once in a while, it's happening.
Not as bad as I was last week.
No, you were rough.
That was a rough week for
I'm
me.
saying words that don't exist on accident.
I love Bella Ramsey's Ellie.
No, she's doing a great
Every
job.
scene she does something that I laugh at. And it's never like a negative laughing at something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're on screen together for 17, 18 minutes
Yeah.
before it cuts away.
And then we see Joel tells her that he doesn't want her to see what's up ahead, and we see what it is. It's just a mass grave from all the Fedra troops killing the people who couldn't fit in the QZs, which is terrible.
Yeah. And then, of course, it zooms in on the one skull, and then it cuts back in time, and they find out it's a mother and her newborn child.
Yeah.
And that's just dark. I'm very happy they didn't show what happens to them. They leave
We
that.
had the same reaction because when I watched that without you, I was like, "Oh, come on! I don't want to see them die."
Yeah.
And then
I had the same reaction later.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we get our first look at Bill. He's hiding underneath the steps, and what does he call them again? Calls the Fed.
New World Order jackboot fucks.
That's it.
Yeah.
And then eventually, no one finds out that he's hidden in a secret room under his house. And he comes outside and he clears the area to make sure no one's there. He's wearing a gas mask.
Yep.
And then he takes it off and he gets this smirk on his face that
Yeah.
he's finally all by himself.
Dude, it would be like as terrible as it is, it would be kind of fun just having the entire neighborhood to yourself. If you knew what you were doing, if you were like Bill,
Yeah, like a survivalist.
yeah, you just set up this whole compound just to yourself. You got all the preparations, chicken, you got eggs, you got seeds.
Guns.
I mean, he is like
plenty
he's
of
living
ammo.
lavish.
He's got all this fuel.
Yeah.
He went to the shops and filled up these tubs of
Mhm.
gasoline.
I love how I filled it up with 91 too. It just doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't matter about price.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Dude,
run
he's
better.
living better than he was in the regular world.
I know he's living better than we are. And I love how he goes to Home Depot.
Yeah.
Because normally a lot of times we said it's like a no brand store.
Mhm.
And this, like, showing the real places makes it more realistic.
Yeah. And I like how when the lights turn off, he goes, "Oh, already?" Like he's had this planned out.
Yeah, like
he knows
thought
what's
how
gonna
long
happen.
it was gonna last.
Yeah.
He turns on all the water so he can still
Mhm.
shower, use water and all that.
Yeah.
He grabs all the alcohol. Because you gotta be able to get drunk during these
Yeah.
times.
Dude, he had that wine locker filled up.
He did.
He was ready.
He was ready to be an alcoholic. And then he has the high industrial level generator.
Yeah.
And I love how he does like the little pray to God, kiss it, pray to God again that turns on. Like you're right. He was just ready. He was ready to do this.
Yeah. No, he's had it planned out. I mean, this is the guy you want to be
Friends with.
Yeah.
My neighbor across my street is like this.
Really?
Yo, if anything goes down, I'm going to their house. They got guns on guns on guns.
Yep.
Yo, my family screwed. We go through food. Like my mom goes food shopping on a Monday and spends like $300. It's gone by Thursday.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, it's bad.
Dude, you get a bag of chips in my house, it's gone
It's
in
gone.
an hour.
That's all you eat.
That is true.
You'll snack and then not eat for a year.
True.
But no, I love that it shows. Yeah, as you're saying, he has the chickens, he has the vegetables, he's got all this land. The man's even aging meat.
Yeah.
He is literally aging meat during an apocalypse.
Dude, I love it. It was so funny.
It was just such an. I like the whole compilation.
Oh yeah, and the songs were great.
Yeah,
And I forget the first song, but then when Light Room came on,
yeah.
it was so perfect.
And then he gets an alarm, and we see that he has these traps that kills the zombies.
Mhm.
It's like a revolving shotgun that he put into the tree. And then he's like, "Ha, it never gets old." And then eventually he sees that there's actually something fell into one of his holes.
Mhm.
He goes, and it's Frank.
Yeah.
And in the games, this is for people who watch the games, Frank actually hangs himself in the game, and Bill eventually finds him when he's with Joel.
You don't see Frank, right?
You see from here up, from here down.
Yeah, it's just he hangs
He
himself.
goes, "That's Frank," and he goes, "Who the fuck is Frank?" And Bill's like, "He was my partner."
Yeah.
And he said he's the only person to wear that dumb shirt. So it's very different than what happens in the show.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then Frank pretty much is stuck in this hole. Bill helps him out. And Bill even has the thing that tells if you're infected or not.
Yeah. Dude, he definitely fucked up some Fedra dudes.
Dude,
100%.
I wanted to see that.
I know, it would
because
have been crazy.
he found this in the first 3 years he got it.
Yeah.
And then I like how he talks. He pretty much is like, "I'm hungry, dude. Like I just need food." He's like, And I agree with what Bill says. He's like, if I help you, then every single person you talk to will come to me trying to get some food or something.
Yeah, which makes, I mean, it's totally true. You can't help everybody for your own sake. So yeah, but then Frank sweet talks him. He's like, I won't tell anybody.
Yo, Frank got that Riz.
Yeah, it does.
Frank a cutie. Frank actually just won an
Bro,
Emmy.
both of them, their beards. Sean was saying this too. Beard game for both of them on point.
The
Fantastic
hair
beards.
game's on point too.
Yeah,
Frank, actually, the guy who plays Frank, just won an Emmy.
for White Lotus, right?
Yeah, White
Yeah.
Lotus. It might have been last year, but
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it was season 1.
But then Bill eventually makes him a really nice dinner, serves him a bottle of wine, and Frank says, "I've never met a man that knows how to serve the right wine with rabbit."
Yeah.
So right away, Frank's into Bill. Come on now.
No,
He wouldn't be
100%.
into Nick Offerman.
He sees it immediately. He's like, this guy.
He's like, "Come on now." He said, "Don't lie to me."
Mm-hmm.
And they eat a dinner together, and then eventually they move over to the piano. Well, Frank gets ready to leave and then sees the piano. He explains that it's an antique, and that he plays him a song. And Nick Offerman cuts him off, Bill, and plays his version of it.
Yeah. I think Frank played it shitty on purpose. So Bill would be like, "Huh, let me show him what's
He's
up."
like, "Hold on." He's like, "You want to see a real pianist?"
Yeah.
Intrusive thoughts. You know exactly what I was.
He's such a child. Yeah.
And
But
then he's like, "Who's the girl that this is about?" And he's like, "There is no girl." And then eventually they kiss. It's very heartwarming.
It is.
I love how bad Bill is at kissing. He looks very unnatural for the first kiss.
Dude, he's never done this before.
And then eventually tells him to shower. Frank tells Bill to shower. They move up to the bedroom. And this is he's pretty much taking Bill's virginity.
Yeah.
In the middle of an apocalypse. And he uses his body. He's like, "Yo, if I do this, you better let me stay here for a couple more weeks."
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as Frank goes underneath the blanket, it cuts to 3 years later, and they're in an argument.
Yeah.
About cutting the grass.
Mm-hmm. It is so funny how like they go from sex to just screaming at each other.
Well, it's been 3 years.
Yeah, 3 years, and you're the only 2 people you've seen in those 3 years, probably.
Oh my god, I would lose my mind.
No matter who, it could be the love of your life, and you're still gonna go a little crazy. So, yeah, but they argue. Frank wants to repaint the houses and take care of all this stuff in the neighborhood, and Bill is totally against it. He just wants to stay how it is. It doesn't matter how things look. We just gotta survive. But
And then he's like, "But my friends are coming." He's like, "What the fuck?"
yeah, dude, I agree with Frank though. If you got all this stuff, you can go and get some paint. You don't want to make it look terrible, you know?
I mean, I don't agree with him inviting people.
Oh yeah, that's
I would have
true.
shot Frank in the back of the head.
Yeah, they got lucky there that it was just Joel and Tess.
Yeah, it ends up being Joel and Tess, and it cuts to this. So at this point in the show, it is 2009, right? 2 3-year time jumps. Because it's 3 years and Nick Offerman's by himself, and then it's his first 3 years with Frank. So that's 2009. So at 2009, and they're having a really nice dinner or a lunch with Tess and Joel. And this is what I was talking about, like de-aging them. They look so much younger and happier at this time.
Yeah. I love how Bill's just holding the gun at Joel the whole time.
Yes, on the table, cocked.
Yeah.
No, I really enjoyed this sequence.
And I love the bickering where Tess is like, "Don't worry, Joel's the same way." And Frank goes, "What, a paranoid schizophrenic?" I'm not schizophrenic. So funny.
And I love the whole scene that they have together. Pedro Pascal and him. He's like, "Get that gun out of my face."
Yeah.
Do you think, you know how he's like, "If mine"? Do you think Joel's like homophobic? Because he seems like a little thrown off by the whole thing.
Yeah. I don't think he's homophobic. I think it's more like, because this is 2003. I was watching a video on like Easter eggs.
2009.
I meant it starts in 2003.
Yeah.
Let me cook. Let me finish.
Okay, I'll let you cook.
I was watching one of those like Easter egg breakdown videos just to see like what I missed in the episode. And the guy made a good point. I watched New Rock Stars on YouTube, which is very good. I think it's the best breakdown stuff. They find everything. They're great. But the guy mentioned that Massachusetts was the first state to legalize gay marriage in 2000. It was either 2004 or late 2003. So it hadn't happened yet.
Oh.
So I don't think he's so much homophobic or anything. I think it's just
It's new.
there wasn't gay
And he's
marriage
also
yet.
from Texas.
Yeah, he's from Texas, so it's not
It's a little more
Yeah. I actually want
old
to double.
school,
I
quote
want to
unquote.
fact check that. I want to make sure I didn't say it
Well,
wrong.
they then pretty much Bill sees they kind of needs Joel because Joe even explains like your fences are gonna corrode, they're gonna fall apart. I can get you high quality aluminum that will last you the rest of your life.
Yeah,
And then eventually
yeah,
after
okay.
that,
Massachusetts, May 2004. So I was right. Thank you, New Rock Stars.
yeah, and then Joel explains. So Joel's on his way out. Tess and Joel are leaving, and Joel and Bill have one last exchange where he's pretty much like, "Be careful, Ravagers are coming, Raiders are coming.
Yeah,
They'll come at night.
they will come
Yeah,
no
they'll
matter
come with
what. Eventually.
automatic weapons and all this stuff." And then it cuts another 3 years, and you see that they built a full fledged like wall of cars,
Yeah.
fencing.
Mhm.
Like, they do not want anyone to come
Yeah,
through.
and Bill and Frank are going for their run in the
And
afternoon.
Bill, my boy Bill's struggling.
He is not in shape. Frank's keeping it together, dude. Frank is built like a rock, but
Well,
Bill is
we'll see.
you're a child. Yeah, but Bill is dying. He's got cramps. He looks like us running. He's got
And
cramps.
that's me
Out of
running with
breath.
the army.
Yeah.
Some lieutenant be like, "Come on, buddy." I'm like, "No,
He's
I am not built to run."
yeah. But then Frank tells him he's got a surprise for him, and it brings it to one of the nicest moments of the show so far. Frank covers Bill's eyes, and they walk in a little patch, and he reveals that he got some strawberry seeds from Joel, and he grew them. I guess over the past summer, probably.
And I love how he's like, "I can't. I stole one of your guns." Wait, what?
Yeah,
Which gun? He's like, "It's fine. It's just a little one."
yeah. But even like a gun for the first strawberry you've had in however many years, 7, 6 years,
Those strawberries are probably fire.
dude, it has to be the best thing they've ever eaten.
Because I mean, strawberries are good, but like a strawberry, when you probably haven't had strawberry in years, it doesn't matter
Yeah,
if it's perfectly ripe or anything like that.
yeah.
But I will say a strawberry when it's a little over ripened,
Hmm.
it's like a little softer. Oh my god! It's a really sweet because the sugar inside's like starting to dissolve.
Yeah.
Gets really fucking good.
Hmm.
I'm a big strawberry guy.
Yeah, dude.
You a fan of strawberries?
Yeah, strawberries are good. This scene was just so good. Everything about it, the way they talk to each other, the lighting in the scene, the sun glaring in the background, it was so good. And I love how they start kissing, and then they're about to have sex, and he's like, "Oh, not on the
Yeah,
strawberries.
and I
Let's
like
go
how he
home."
like yesterday. I was like, wait, not the
Yeah,
strawberries. And then it goes from such a nice heartwarming scene to one of the most tense scenes in the episode.
yeah. It
Uh,
cuts straight to.
the Raiders do show up
Mhm.
in the middle of the rain at night, and it's Frank's point of view. And Frank wakes up and he's like a little discombobulated. He's just been woken up. And he goes outside, and Bill is just laying hate on these dudes by
Yeah,
himself out in the rain. And he has the flamethrower, the electric
dude, the
fences.
traps were awesome. The
Traps were
saws
dope.
making the sparks and just the gasoline going.
And then eventually Bill gets shot, and Frank saves him pretty much, telling him he needs to go inside. And all Bill can think about is to make sure Frank's okay.
Yeah,
And he's like, call Joel. Like, you cannot live here by yourself.
yeah.
And he eventually makes it.
Hmm. Well, I love the cut to the next scene where we cut straight to somebody in a wheelchair. And obviously, after seeing Bill get shot in the last scene, we're expecting it to be Bill. But then Frank in the wheelchair calls Bill out for help. And we see that it's been 10 years and Frank has gotten, I don't think they ever expressly say the disease, but maybe like
Cerebral palsy or something like that.
ALS, maybe something like
Yeah,
that. Something that,
it's something that's breaking down his nervous system and his muscles and everything like
yeah,
that.
he can't walk anymore. So he's wheelchair bound. You can see him being, he's obviously very emaciated. And
Did you see the Did you see the Easter egg that one of the paintings is Bill from the game?
yeah,
Yeah, it's
I
pretty cool.
liked all the paintings. They were just straight out of the game.
Yeah, and I mean Nick Offerman, he's looking old.
But that beard's still on point, though.
Both their beards are still on
Yeah,
point.
dude, they both look great. They age fantastic.
And eventually they go to bed.
Hmm. You see how much of a struggle it is for Bill to get
Yeah,
Frank into bed. It's hard with the
especially at this
wheelchair.
point.
Yeah. And then it cuts to the morning. We see Frank in the background sitting in the wheelchair as Bill wakes up. And he's like, "What the hell? How did you get in your chair?" And Frank's like, "It took all night. I'm exhausted."
Yeah, and then Bill freaks out
hmm
because with a lot of people who are bound to wheelchairs at that point in their lives, if they try and if they fall asleep in their chairs, they'll start getting blood flow to the feet,
Yeah.
and their feet will turn blue, lose oxygen.
They'll be in a lot of trouble. So,
Yeah, so and he says like, you know what's gonna happen. He's like, it doesn't matter. This is my last day.
yeah.
So Frank made the decision that this is it. He doesn't want to suffer anymore. He doesn't want Bill to have to suffer anymore. And then we get a really sad scene of them sitting in their living room together.
Yeah.
And he's pretty much like, it's okay. He's like,
hmm
are you crying?
No.
It looks like the way the shadow is. It looks like you're on the verge of tears.
No.
Oh no!
No.
Put your hat back on.
I
Oh
know.
God.
My hair's been back all day.
But yeah, it was another really good scene, and I like that Frank explains. He's like, all I need from you is one more happy day.
hmm
He's like, and that starts with you making me toast. And
Yeah.
it goes throughout their last day together. Eventually, they have, and he tells him like, he gives him this substance, it's some sort of drug that he's
Yeah.
crushed up.
Dude, the way he goes through the entire day, he's like, "You're gonna make me breakfast. We're gonna go to the boutique. We're gonna dress up real nice." And then it sounds like the best final day, and then he has to say, "You're gonna give me these pills,
Well, he
give me
also
my
they get
wine."
married,
Yeah,
which was that was the scene that almost got me.
I could tell.
When they were sitting, it was like the way the sun was coming
You
through.
started putting your hood on, and I was
Oh,
like, "It's getting
I was on the verge.
him." Yeah,
And then for their final meal, Bill makes them the rabbit that they had for their first ever meal together.
yeah.
And they
The
eventually
same wine too.
same one. And he eventually crushes up the stuff and he dumps it in the mixes in with the wine. Frank chugs it. And then we see Bill chugs his own wine and Frank realizes he's like, you put this stuff in the bottle, didn't you? He's like, enough to kill a horse.
Yeah,
So Bill doesn't want to live without Frank, so he's gonna go the same way they do.
yeah. And I
Same way
like
he
when
does.
when Bill walks in with the wine, you can see the cork's already out.
Yeah,
Like
and then the first time you watch him pop it.
yeah, the context clues show you that it's already open. He's had this planned. He put all the pills in there in the kitchen probably. So yeah, he tells Frank this isn't the tragic suicide at the end of the story. And then Frank, I love Frank's line, and he's like, "I hate you for this, but from an objective point of view, it's very
It's
romantic."
very
Is
romantic.
oh man,
And he says, then we're gonna go to bed and lay down together.
yeah,
And that was like the whole point. And then it cuts they start heading their way upstairs and it cuts back to Ellie and Joel
hmm
as they're entering the town.
yeah,
Because Joel knows that he needs help and he goes to find help from a friend of his.
hmm
And you get they don't say a time jump or anything for this sequence. They just give you a close up on the flowers that he was lay watering in the scene prior,
yeah,
and the flowers are dead.
hmm
So
yeah,
right away, Joel knows.
yeah.
I
Joel
think he
knows something's wrong.
subconsciously knows something's wrong.
Yeah, he knows that Bill doesn't just leave the things alone. Like
Yeah, and the
he would have
door's
known.
unlocked.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of things that at this point
hmm
won't work.
Yeah. So they're walking around the house, and Joel is making his way to the bedroom. He's about to open the door when a gust of wind shuts the front door behind him, and it kind of distracts him. Which, thank God, because that would have been disgusting if you open the door and they're just rotting corpses around the bed. Would not have been fun.
Especially not for Joel.
Oh yeah, it would have
Joel
been
would have been
terrible.
struggling. But
Yeah.
then Joel goes back downstairs because he hears the door shut. He thinks it's Ellie.
hmm
And Ellie's sitting there reading a note, which it says to whoever may find this, probably Joel.
Yeah.
And it says, if you're reading this, excuse me, if you're reading this, please do not open our bedroom door. We have left the window open so the house wouldn't smell.
Yeah. He basically just Bill just explains to Joel because he knows Joel is the only person who can get through the fence without
Yeah, because he
dying.
knows
And
the code.
yeah. So he basically just explains like this is what happened, and he tells Joel that the code to the basement bunker,
It's the same as the gate flip.
yeah, backwards. So he gives Joel all of his guns and everything, and he leaves the keys for the truck right with the envelope. which again from the games is kind of from what I've gathered, from what I've heard people talk about, is kind of the point of Bill from the games is he's a fun character that you play with for a little while, but if you really chop down like bare bones, his whole point is kind of get Joel and Ellie into the truck.
Yes.
Like if you just really strip it down as far as you can, he's kind of there just to get in the truck and then
Yeah, it's
you
for
know
him to get the truck so he can go to his brother.
exactly. So they changed Bill's story a ton from the games, obviously, but at the end of the day, it's the same thing that happens. Bill and excuse me, Bill gives Joel and Ellie the truck, and they're able to go find Tommy.
Yeah, and I like the part of the speech where he's like, I never found the reason to save people. He's like, but I saved him, saying Frank.
Yeah.
And he explains that that's why men like you and me are here. We have a job to do. And God help any motherfuckers who stand in our way.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually he says, I'll leave all my weapons and equipment so you can protect Tess. Because
Yeah.
at the time when he wrote this, he didn't know what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And right away, you can see right on Joel's face that he's upset. And this is the most
Obviously,
emotion
yeah.
we've gotten out of him so far. And he walks outside to get his emotions with him. And then he goes out to the truck and he realizes there's no car battery and he gets a little mad.
Yeah.
But that ends up being in the fridge so it didn't overheat.
Mm-hmm.
Because Bill knew exactly what was going to happen.
Yeah. He's smart.
So then eventually they go downstairs, they get guns, they talk about the music, and they take showers, which is their first showers probably in a very long time.
Yeah. I loved Ellie. She's like, man, you got to take a shower too because you
Like,
stink.
whoo. She doesn't even say you stink. She's just like, whoo. And then she walks out of frame.
Yeah.
And then she's like, oh, look how nice you look. And they eventually go to the car, and Ellie's never been in a car before.
Yeah. She said like this is like
Oh,
a
we completely
spaceship.
forgot. During the scene with the Raiders, Frank has a gun in their dining room.
Oh yeah, he grabs a little gun from the
And
drawer.
eventually, when Ellie's by herself, when Joel goes to check out the car bag and everything, she finds that gun. She packs in her bag,
Mm-hmm.
even though Joel has been telling her again and again, like, no gun.
Yeah.
And then Joel gives her the 3 rules, and it's what are they? I forget the first 2.
Like keep our histories to ourselves.
Yeah, history sells. Do not show anyone your bike because they will kill you. And then
Yeah.
rule 3, do what I free. Rule 3, you do what I say when I say it. And
Yeah.
she responds, she's like,
No, he
"Say
asked
it
her
back
like,
to me.
say it back to me. She's like, you're the boss.
You're the boss." and you can see in his face, he's like, I'm so fucking dead.
Yeah.
But they get to the car and she's just in complete shock.
Yeah.
She's like, it's like a spaceship. He's like, no, it's a shitty Toyota. And
I mean, it's true. Like she's never ever seen. She's probably seen a car, but she's never been in one.
yeah,
You have to imagine being in the QZ. I think they had trucks. Pedro had trucks. I think
yeah, but she was also locked in that room,
it is true.
so maybe she'd never really seen one.
Yeah. I don't know.
But,
Well, I don't think she was locked in for that long.
no, but she's been locked in there,
Yeah.
so she might not have been at the QZ.
Yeah. Maybe.
And they probably
don't
put a
know.
bag over her head or something, so she
Yeah,
probably didn't ever see it.
Yeah. Maybe.
But she eventually, Joe has to help her with the seatbelt, and they start driving. And the song that she puts in with the cassette is the same song that Bill plays on the piano for Frank.
Yeah.
And Joel, it seems like Joel wants to sing,
Mm-hmm.
but he doesn't.
It is funny how Joel the whole time was like, just put that back. We're not listening to music, and then the song comes on. Oh, this is a banger. We got to
He's
keep
yeah,
this
he's
one
like,
on.
this is the real shit right here. And Ellie's like, it's okay. And you see right then there, Joel has like a moment where he thinks about his own daughter.
Mhm. He has that father-daughter moment. Like he looks at Ellie in the song, and he's like, all right, I got to keep this little girl safe.
Pedro Pascal really is a daddy, though. Like, when he was in that car with his hair, it's like, God damn. Pedro Pascal, my God.
I think Bill and Frank's rubbing off on you.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, Pedro Pascal.
No, he's a good-looking dude.
He is, and he's got a great voice with the little Texas twang to him.
He does.
Woo! Mama. And eventually, the final shot is from the bedroom window.
Yeah.
His house is driving away, and then it cuts to black.
Yeah. I love that shot.
End of
too.
episode 3. But yeah, I think this episode. I think the show is literally getting stronger with each episode because I think every episode so far I've said it's the best episode.
Yeah.
So it is
I
getting
agree.
stronger, stronger. And episode 4, from what the trailer showed us, is a key part of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a very important moment because it's pretty much Ellie's first interaction of who's not in the QZ.
Yeah.
Like the humans that are out there.
Mm-hmm. No, the episode 4, for people who have been saying stuff like, why isn't there enough action? I think
You're gonna
episode
get your
4,
action.
yeah, you're gonna get plenty of it in this
Yeah,
episode. So,
well, the next couple episodes you're gonna get.
oh
Like
yeah,
at
we're
this
getting
point,
into like the real deal story.
yeah, like this was like well building
Yeah,
storytelling. Like
this was like the part of this was the part of the game where you're still like learning the controls and everything. From now on, it's just gonna be thrown into the world. You're just on your own, basically,
yeah.
in video game terms, I guess.
So I think I would give this episode 10 out of 10 as well. I think it was
Yeah,
pretty great episode. There was nothing I would change. Every episode I think so far I'd probably give them both 9s and then this a 10
yeah,
because it was like little things I could nitpick at.
exactly.
I have nothing I could change about this episode.
Yeah,
I love the idea to swing and go off into some totally different direction,
hmm,
and because it gives it the whole show an emotional feeling to it. Like
yeah,
there's been 3 deaths in the show already.
yeah,
None of them long term characters, and they have
hmm,
all hit. They've
absolutely.
all been emotional.
Yeah, I mean, you can call this a bottle episode a little
Yes,
bit, but at the same time, bottle episodes are usually some of the best episodes. Like you look at Breaking Bad, The Fly is a total bottle episode, but everybody loves that episode.
it's a huge episode.
Yeah, exactly. So
That's
I
my
think
favorite episode of Breaking Bad, right?
is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun episode, but I think bottle episodes are just a lot of fun for fleshing out the world and showing us maybe not a story of somebody who's gonna be a main character, but just showing a story in this world helps to flesh out the world. Even if they're not going to stick around for a while, it shows us what this is like for other people.
No,
So
I completely agree.
yeah, I don't see any problem with spending this much time with Bill and Frank. It's a huge change from the games, but they've
I
done
think
it
it
so
works
well.
better too
Yeah, I think so too.
because it gives Joel even more loss and it
Hmm.
builds like what you're saying. It's world building, even if it doesn't seem like it's on a very small scale,
Yeah,
but it still shows other people in this world and what they've went through.
yeah, and I think this will be, unless it gets better from here on out, I think this will be the Emmy episode.
Oh no,
If it gets
I think Nick
nominated,
Offerman
especially.
might get an Emmy nom
Yeah, and
just for
I
this
think
little
he'll get
bit.
a nomination. Just for that scene on the couch when Frank's telling him what's gonna happen.
That was so sad.
It was heartbreaking. Yeah.
Well,
But I also love like the acting from both of these guys. They're not like flamboyant gay dudes that we usually see in Hollywood. Like they're just normal dudes who like boys. It's that simple. You know what I mean? Like Hollywood
I, I
always makes gay
I would
characters.
say like men.
That is true. They like men, not boys.
Like
That's
boys
true.
might be a
That's
wrong
good.
choice of
Colin,
word.
cut that. Cut that. Cut that. Yeah, no, they're just gay dudes. Like me and you are both straight, so we can't really talk that much about this.
Speak for yourself.
Okay, I'm straight. I don't know about you. And but I've known gay people. Like I've had gay
Yeah.
neighbors before, so I know like not every gay man is this like flamboyant. And there's nothing wrong with being flamboyant,
No, there's
obviously.
like that
Like
trope in Hollywood
yeah,
that
it's always a trope.
yeah, it's like
And
it's normally if
this
there's a gay character, they're
yeah,
very flamboyant, they're hamming up
yeah,
gay
absolutely.
tendencies when
Hmm.
it's normally more like how it is in the show.
Yeah, they're just normal dudes. So I love both of these performances. I thought the writing was great, and just to have this really quick and simple love story in this one episode, it was done so well. I've never had such an emotional connection to two characters in less than one episode.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, I think that's it.
Okay, so lastly, so yeah, we love the show, and now we're gonna hop into our suggestion of the week. Come on, man.
John Wick 2.
Mm,
That's my favorite one.
that's a good one.
Yeah.
Is
All
this
three of
because
them are great.
is this because we've been going through them?
Yeah. And I got to watch them again with Anthony now.
Yeah.
Just watched them with Sean because he hadn't seen them the next night. I'm like, you ever seen these? He's like, no, I've never seen John Wick. Fuck.
God damn it. My suggestion of the week is That 70 Show because as I recommended in last episode, That 90 Show, and That 70 Show is on Peacock, and it really is one of the best sitcoms ever. And yeah, just love it. Now we have 7 fan questions. Well, yeah, 7 fan questions. And the first one is, what movies made you the film fan that you are now? This question from Natalie. I'm pretty sure we've answered a question similar to this at some point in the show.
I think so too.
But I'm gonna assume people when they resend things are newer to the
Yeah.
show and stuff like this. Because a couple of these are like personal questions.
I think for me, this is a weird answer because it's not so much the movies that I'm super into now, but I think Scott Pilgrim vs. the World is kind of the movie that really made me fall in love. Because the more like I love that movie so much when I watched it, and then if you've seen that movie, you know you have to watch that movie more than once to really like get everything out of it.
Yeah.
So I just kept watching it, and I kept like finding out more about it, and I kept learning about Edgar Wright, and then that kind of led me to filmmaking in general, and then yeah, I think that's the movie that really got me into it.
You love Edgar, right?
Oh, I love Edgar Wright. He's one of my
Yeah.
favorites. As much as he's not my style anymore, not that I've grown out of it per se, but like he's not my favorite style anymore, that quick editing kind of stuff,
Yeah.
but I still love it.
No, I get what you
And
mean.
I think what he's done in all of his movies is fantastic.
This is a weird one. So I would say the movies that made me into a film fan, like really want to watch stuff, was two movies that aren't critically acclaimed, and this is probably Revenge of the Sith and The Amazing Spider-Man. And it's because these were the first two featurettes that I ever watched, like the hour-long behind-the-scenes things,
Yeah.
because I want to know how that was made, like
Mhm.
how did they do this, like
Yeah.
I want to know how the CGI worked and all that kind of stuff, especially the swinging sequence in The Amazing Spider-Man underneath the bridge, which is literally him swinging, like he is
Yeah.
legitimately there swinging, and the lightsaber battles are just so much more choreographed than they ever are, like in the prequels and the originals, and especially the final fight, which Ryan doesn't agree with me on, but I think the Obi-Wan Anakin fight is one of the best lightsaber battles.
I think it's really good. I think it's a little long. That's it. It's just a little too lengthy.
But to know that they put into the thought that like, oh, Obi-Wan trained Anakin, so they're going to fight the exact same way, and stuff like that made me want to know how they did it and like how much time it took to make that.
Yeah.
So I'd say those are probably the two movies that made me into the film fan. Now, TASM kind of goes into the next question as well, but the next question is favorite movies in middle school. This question is from Maddie.
Hmm. I don't know. I feel like in middle school I was kind of into more TV shows. I loved The Office in middle school because that's when it was on Netflix still. I watched that like 2 times in 8th grade alone. And then Clone Wars was huge for me. That was kind of the cartoon that I grew up with, and then I loved it so much. That's what got me into Star Wars. Before I ever watched the movies, I watched Clone Wars.
Really?
Yeah, that was my first Star Wars thing.
Holy
And
shit.
then I watched the movies after Clone Wars. Um, yeah, I think for movies, I don't know, maybe probably the Marvel movies. Just I remember very vividly going to see Avengers with my mom and being genuinely scared of the opening scene with Loki. When he starts
Oh, we
stabbing dudes, I was like, "Oh
when we
my
were watching
god!"
it for the Devin Scott episode, you said that
Yeah.
that
No, when
scene
he
was
starts
scary.
stabbing dudes, and I was like in a theater alone with my mom at like 10:30 in 2012, so I was probably in like
What were you 9?
um yeah,
Yeah.
9 or 10. So I was still young, and I
Yeah,
was
you
like,
were a
"Oh my
kid.
god,
You were a
he's
child.
stabbing those guys in the chest." He's
Dude,
so
phase
sweaty.
1 of Marvel was dark.
It
We
was.
because
Yeah, when it was
we
still
never thought
oh,
about that until we rewatched it, and there
yeah.
was like the propeller scene in Captain America
Yeah.
where the dude gets shredded.
Mhm.
Like that would never happen in the newer movies.
Yeah, I think it was more Paramount. Like, not that Disney's totally like nullified it,
Yeah,
but there's still some dark moments. But I think the Paramount movies,
we're a lot darker, and
yeah,
yeah, no, I agree. I would say in middle school, my favorite movies were The Amazing Spider-Man, Catching Fire, The Hunger Games: Catching Fire, The Departed, which is still my favorite movie,
yeah,
and The Godfather.
mm,
Because every year I'd go on this trip with my dad. And I did it 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade. It was at Penn State, and it was like this conference you'd have to go to, and it was always the same weekend as the AMC Godfather marathon.
mm,
So I would always just watch it,
yeah,
but I never saw the third one because I would fall asleep every time during the second one. And I've seen the second one and the third one at this point now.
yeah,
But the original Godfather was like as a kid I was like obsessed.
yeah. But speaking of shows too, I loved Lost in grade school.
I still have yet watched Lost.
That was my like in terms of like drama shows, that was my show.
I
I
mean, I
loved
feel like
Lost.
everyone was watching Lost.
Yeah, but I was watching it on Netflix like way
It
after
was
it
on
came out.
Netflix.
Yeah, for a
Oh,
while.
it's on Hulu now. So I
Yeah,
think I think now that I have the
it is good.
ad-free Hulu, I think I'm gonna watch it.
Mhm. You should. It is good.
I know how it ends. Like I've seen the final
Yeah,
episode and I cried. And I'd never seen any of the show before.
yeah.
It is a
Dude, I'm
crazy
telling
show.
I watched the first episode with you because the first
I've seen
episode
the
is
first
nuts.
episode.
Okay.
I'm like 3 episodes in.
Gotcha.
I tried to watch it before I left for basic training, and I just eventually
Mhm.
ran out of time.
The first couple seasons are really good. It definitely falls off a little bit because it just gets kind of crazy, but not entirely in a bad way.
Yeah, no,
It's still
people
interesting.
people still love the show has great reviews.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah. No, it's still great.
Um, okay, here we go. Question number 3: greatest animated movie. This question from Charlie. I know your answer.
Yeah, Spider-Verse is still probably number
Yeah.
one.
You know mine. I used the monologue in so many
Oh, Under the
acting
Red
roles.
Hood.
Batman Under the Red Hood, baby. Jensen Ackles as Red Hood.
Yeah.
Favorite performance that won an Oscar. This question's from Mark.
Hmm.
I have Daniel Day for There Will Be Blood. I think that's just like such an iconic performance in a movie that without Daniel Day-Lewis, no one would have ever watched.
Yeah. I might have to go with Hopkins for Hannibal Lecter,
That's a good one.
just because he was so good in
11 minutes.
in so little time, and he was like,
Yeah, 11 minutes. Darth Vader's in New Hope for 9 minutes.
yeah,
I always get the number mixed up.
he was in for 11 minutes, and Hannibal Lecter is now a household name.
Well,
So
you also gotta
like,
remember there's another Silence of the Lamb,
no,
and then
there's more, there's
there's like
multiple
sequels
movies.
and stuff.
Yeah,
But he became iconic just from those 11
yeah,
minutes. I get
but I
what you
feel
mean.
like the first one is the only one that's like truly iconic. That's the only one. I didn't even know there were sequels until I watched the first one.
Really?
Yeah, I had no idea.
Oh my God, Red Dragon, I love.
I've heard Red Dragon's good, but the other ones aren't
Scary as
very good.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hannibal's good too.
Mhm.
Very dark.
It's Mads Mikkelsen, right?
No, there's a movie Hannibal too.
Yeah, but then there's the show,
Yeah,
right?
then there's a show Hannibal with Mads Mikkelsen,
Okay.
but I'm talking about the movie Hannibal.
There's a movie called Hannibal?
Yeah, with Anthony Hopkins.
Huh.
It's frightening.
All right.
There's a lot of pigs.
Oh.
Pigs do bad things.
Oh.
This question's to you actually from Teddy. Ryan, do you ever plan on getting a tattoo?
I don't plan on it, but I'm not opposed to it.
Hmm.
I just have no idea what I'd get.
You like Matt?
Yeah. Like, I'm not opposed to it if I have a really good idea, but it would have to be a very good idea. Like, it would be something meaningful, which is never going to happen.
Question number 6 is favorite memory together, and how long have you two known each other? This question's from Willa.
I don't know when we met.
No, I mean, all of our siblings knew each other before we knew each other, because Grace and Olivia, they met in dance.
Did they?
Yeah, great. Joseph and Elizabeth went to school. Were in the same grade.
Yeah.
And Maggie and Annie went to preschool together.
Mhm.
So I think we probably met each other.
I mean, we both went to St. Francis, so we probably
Yeah.
knew each other.
I was just at that point like it's like a big 2 years is a big age gap.
No, yeah.
I would probably say we knew who we were.
Yeah.
I'd probably say when you were in like 3rd grade, I was probably in like 5th grade.
Probably.
We were like hanging out.
But it's also a testament to how long we've known each other that we don't remember.
Oh
Like,
yeah, no,
we
it's
were
been a
that
long
young.
time.
Yeah, we've
Oh
known
no,
each
I've
other
known you since you were like in kindergarten.
Yeah, we've known each other
But
forever.
we started hanging out once you hit like 3rd grade, 4th grade, probably.
Yeah.
Once we both could like play sports together, that's like when it became like a possibility.
Yeah.
And then, okay. This one is best film podcast besides our own. We don't even think ours is the best.
No.
I mean, I think it's
for-
Nerd Soup.
Yeah, for me, it's Nerd Soup.
Raiders is below. It's like right below them. I love those guys.
Yeah.
They're
I feel like I
very
listen
close
to Nerd
friends of
Soup
ours.
the most.
Yeah, but I would say Nerd Soup because I think Nerd Soup really gave us the idea to do it.
Yeah.
Well, no, you didn't listen to Nerd Soup. The first time you listened to it was on the way back.
I didn't listen to film podcasts.
Yeah, I love film podcasts.
Yeah, I wasn't super into podcasts yet, and then I was like, I'll try it, and then
Yeah.
I got more into them. Yeah.
And then we did one, and then we listened to them for
Yeah.
11 hours straight.
Mm.
But yeah, anything else you want to add?
No, I think it was a good episode. How
Yeah.
long was this?
It was like an hour.
Hour
9 minutes.
Pretty good.
Yeah,
Pretty good.
doing good. Well, thank you guys for tuning into the episode. Make sure to like and share the podcast. Continue following us on TikTok and YouTube because we're getting followers there now and plenty of views, which is always good. And had one of our better months this month.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so make sure to continue listening on Apple Music, Google Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, anywhere you can find podcasts, even on YouTube now. And yeah, thank you guys for tuning into the show. And next week we will be reviewing episode 4 of The Last of Us and whatever news comes out.
Yeah.
So yeah, Ryan, I'll give you the last words.
See ya.